Days of Our Lives, Gabi and Alex's date takes a scandalous turn that sends Stephanie spiraling. In Salem, nothing ever stays simple, and Days of Our Lives proves that once again, with a twist-filled, emotionally charged storyline brewing between Gabi and Alex. What starts as a harmless, if slightly petty, attempt to make an ex jealous could spiral into a deeply scandalous situation that fans over 65 will not want to miss. This isn't just a date, it's a storm in the making, one that may leave Stephanie shaken, Alex confused, and Gabi triumphant. Let's backtrack to the start of this steamy saga. Gabi Hernandez, ever the firecracker, made waves when she bid an eyebrow-raising $15,000 at a charity bachelorette auction to win a date with none other than Alex Kyriakis. While she framed the purchase as a selfless donation to a good cause, anyone who knows Gabi knows that she rarely does anything without multiple layers of intent. And her primary reason: to get under the skin of her ex, JJ Devereaux, who's been slinging accusations her way ever since their bitter breakup. But there's more to this than revenge. Gabi may have expected Alex to simply pose beside her, wine and dine her for appearances, and help her stir up some petty jealousy, but she might get far more than she bargained for. At first, Alex, ever the charming rogue, tries to play it safe. He offers Gabi a quiet dinner at the bistro. Simple. Respectable. Low effort. But Gabi, being who she is, isn't interested in bland. She promptly turns down the offer and gives him a pointed nudge to try harder, because if she's going to spend that kind of money, she wants the kind of night that will have tongues wagging all over Salem. And Alex delivers. As the week of May 12 to 16 unfolds, Alex begins to plot a date worthy of Gabi's flair for the dramatic, and the result is nothing short of spectacular. He books a private rooftop suite, lit with string lights and scented with white roses, with a view of the Salem skyline. There's a live violinist, a custom chef-prepared dinner, and the finest champagne Titan money can buy. Gabi, naturally, is impressed. She arrives in a crimson gown that turns every head, including Alex's. But here's where it starts to get complicated. Despite being firmly committed to Stephanie Johnson, Alex begins to feel something unfamiliar stirring. It's not love, but it's not nothing either. Gabi is magnetic, unpredictable, and deeply wounded by JJ's betrayal. There's a vulnerability beneath her armor that Alex finds surprisingly moving. And as the champagne flows and laughter replaces the guarded small talk, the dynamic shifts from friendly banter to a flirtation charged with something more. Still, Alex reminds himself, this is charity. This is theater. He owes Stephanie loyalty. But when Gabi leans in a little too close during a rooftop dance and whispers a teasing line from Stephanie's unpublished manuscript, a manuscript Alex thought no one else had read, his heart skips a beat. How did she know? That's the twist. Turns out, during the dinner, Alex casually mentioned the book, Stephanie's passion project. He compared it to 50 Shades of Grey, only better. Intrigued, Gabi pressed for more details. Alex, perhaps flattered by her interest or loosened by the moment, let his guard down. He not only shared a few key details, but he also let Gabi glance through a few passages he had on his phone. Big mistake. Because Gabi, sharp as ever, saw more than just an erotic thriller. She saw opportunity. She saw herself in the character, the empowered woman reclaiming control over her life, her image, her desires. And she saw Alex in the male lead, bold, mysterious, dominant but vulnerable. The chemistry between the fictional characters mirrored their real-life energy too closely for her to ignore. Later in the evening, Alex and Gabi find themselves reenacting one of the book's scenes, not physically, but verbally. It starts as a joke, but quickly becomes something more intimate, more dangerous. The line between fiction and reality begins to blur. Gabi's flirtation sharpens. Alex falters. He doesn't pull away as quickly as he should. And somewhere in the shadows of Salem, a camera flashes. Because drama in this town is never private. What neither of them knows is that Stephanie, tipped off by a curious mutual friend who spotted Gabi and Alex entering the rooftop suite, is already watching from a distance. She arrives just in time to see the two share a laugh, a near kiss, and a line from her novel, the one she only trusted Alex with. Her heart drops. Rage bubbles to the surface. Jealousy like she's never felt before overwhelms her. She storms off without confrontation, for now. But the damage is done. The next day, Stephanie confronts Alex. She doesn't scream. She doesn't accuse. She simply tells him that she knows everything and asks one question: did you give her the manuscript? And when Alex hesitates even for a second, the silence is more damning than any admission. Meanwhile, Gabi, now armed with both emotional power and intellectual property, begins to toy with the idea of adapting the book for the screen. She pitches it to her contacts at Titan Dimera with herself as the female lead, naturally, and a certain brooding Kyriakos heir as her on-screen partner. A scandalous pairing, guaranteed to generate buzz, headlines, and maybe box office gold. Stephanie, furious and heartbroken, must now watch as the man she trusted publicly becomes entangled in a professional, and possibly personal, bond with a woman she loathes. The fans are left asking, was it really just a date, or did Gabi just orchestrate the beginning of Salem's hottest new love triangle? With the novel's adaptation looming, Gabi and Alex's chemistry crackling on every page and scene, and Stephanie driven to reclaim both her manuscript and her man, Salem is on the verge of another explosion. And as every longtime Days viewer knows, when Gabi gets the upper hand, it never ends quietly. Next, Days of Our Lives spoilers. The week of May 12, 2025 brings truths, chills, and the heartache of unfinished goodbyes. In the turbulent world of Days of Our Lives, the week of May 12, 2025, will be etched in the hearts of longtime fans as one marked by shocking revelations, emotional reunions, and a shadow of sorrow that no one sees coming, except perhaps one woman with an eerie sixth sense. Let's begin with a long-awaited moment that will leave Salem buzzing. At long last, Roman Brady steps forward with a revelation that many have been waiting for, the truth about Johnny and the gun. For weeks, suspicions have hung heavy in the air, with whispers and speculations circling like vultures. Roman, never one to take action lightly, finally confirms what some had feared and others had hoped wasn't true: Johnny was involved, and a firearm was present. But what does this mean for Johnny's future? Is he in danger of losing everything? Could this lead to arrest, estrangement, or worse? While Roman's bombshell sends shockwaves, it's Kate Roberts Brady who delivers an equally compelling, though more intimate, confession. Known for her poise and sharp instincts, Kate has seen more than her fair share of secrets and scandals. But this week, she lowers her guard. In a quiet yet powerful scene, Kate shares a truth that she's kept buried deep within, one that could change the way she's seen by those closest to her. Is it a confession of guilt, regret, or even love? The answers will stir the pot in ways no one expects. Yet while Salem's residents are rocked by human drama, something more supernatural lingers in the air. Over at Marlena Evans' home, a simple phone call changes everything. Her face lights up as she answers and hears news that lifts her heart and breathes life into a hope she'd begun to bury. The voice on the other end gives her reason to believe the impossible: John Black is alive. For a moment, time stops. Marlena, who has clung to the belief that love transcends even death, feels joy swell in her chest. She clutches the phone tighter, perhaps blinking back tears, as she whispers, "They found him, alive." It's the miracle she didn't dare speak of, the prayer she sent into the universe night after night, alone in the dark. Now, it feels answered. But as always in Salem, when the light appears, so too does the shadow. In another part of town, Susan Banks, quirky, spiritual, and surprisingly attuned to the unknown, pauses mid-step as a chill sweeps over her. It's more than a gust of wind. It's a sensation that cuts to her core. She shivers, wraps her arms around herself, and utters a chilling phrase that silences the room. "I feel like someone just walked over my grave." It's not just a saying. It's a warning. Marlena, still glowing from the call, catches sight of Susan's sudden fear and her smile fades. The warmth drains from her expression as the gravity of Susan's words sink in. Could this be an omen? Could the joy she just felt be premature, or even false? Here's where the heartache begins to unfold. While Marlena may believe John is on his way back, the path ahead is anything but certain. There are whispers that his condition may be grave. That perhaps he was found, but not whole. Not safe. Not the same man she once held in her arms. There's even the terrifying possibility that the information she received was incorrect, or worse, part of a cruel deception. this week leaves Marlena and her loved one standing on the edge of an emotional cliff. Hope and fear battle for space in their hearts. Each minute stretches longer than the last. They may be reunited with John, or they may have to face the unbearable reality that his return isn't what they imagined. For Marlena, the fear of never seeing John walk through that door again lingers in her every breath. For Susan, the sensation of death looming is more than superstition, it's instinct. And for Kate and Roman, the truths they've shared could reshape the very foundations of their relationships. As fans over the age of 65 know all too well, life, just like Salem, is never black and white. It is moments of light pierced by shadows, laughter chased by sorrow, and love tempered by loss. This week, Days of Our Lives offers a masterclass in all of it. So stay tuned. Because just when you think you know what's coming, Salem finds a way to surprise